Hey guys, welcome back और हम बात कर रहे हैं एडवर्टाइजिंग करियर की एंड एज ऑलवेज आई हैव विद मी विवेक एंड who is going to tell us more and welcome Vivek।
Thanks Preeti and hi everyone. Hope you enjoyed the previous two videos.
हवा चल रही है वैसे
बिल्कुल हाँ
और
मौसम भी
बहुत
अच्छा है।
बहुत अच्छा मौसम हो
हाँ
रहा है और रोल्स इन एडवर्टाइजिंग डिस्कस करने के लिए एकदम परफेक्ट मौसम है। क्या
हाँ
कहते हो आप?
नहीं खेती के लिए अच्छा मौसम नहीं है लेकिन हाँ एडवर्टाइजिंग डिस्कस करने के लिए बहुत अच्छा मौसम है।
सो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द रोल्स। अभी तक ये हमें पता चल गया कि एजुकेशन एडवर्टाइजिंग में किस तरह से लेनी चाहिए, व्हाट इज़ द राइट डायरेक्शन। विवेक ने फर्स्ट वीडियो में बताया था, सेकंड वीडियो में हमने टच बेस करा था कि जब आप करियर बनाते हैं एडवर्टाइजिंग में तो कौन सी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के लिए आप अप्लाई कर सकते हैं, अप्रोच कर सकते हैं। सो दोज टू वीडियोज़ आर देयर लाइक जस्ट बिफोर दिस वीडियो, so you can go and check them out and the links are also available in the description, so you can see those as well. So Vivek, now moving on to
Sure.
the roles in advertising. um, अभी एस्पिरेंट जो है वो एंटर कर गया एज अ ट्रेनी, तो अभी नेक्स्ट स्टेप क्या है कि उसको कौन से रोल में किस डायरेक्शन में जाना है, विच इज़ बिकॉज ट्रेनी होता है जो वो एक जनरल रोल में एडवर्टाइजिंग में आई एम श्योर वो आता होगा, पहली जॉब उसकी एडवर्टाइजिंग में होती होगी, तो उसके बाद उसका डायरेक्शन क्या होना चाहिए?
बिल्कुल very very I think it's a very good start to this entire discussion. Let's say आपकी किस्मत बहुत बुलंद है. You braved the entire interview process. You met everyone. So let's say if you are joining the creative stream, then you would have gone through the entire creative, head of creative and all those guys, and finally with HR and finance who negotiate your salary and things like that. Similarly, if you're in the planning stream, then you would have gone through the head of strategy planning. If you're in account management or client servicing, as it's referred to, or project management, as some agencies now fashionably refer it to. So then you would have been through the entire account management team, and same with digital and media and all of those things. So now let's say once you come on board, then there is invariably an induction process, because you can't just throw people in the water and say chalo bhai tero. So agencies have a 1 month 45 days induction process whereby they put you through all the departments.
अच्छा, very interesting guys. So आप एक ही डिपार्टमेंट में नहीं आप रहते हैं,
नहीं,
आप वेरियस डिपार्टमेंट्स में आप
शुरू में इसलिए भेजा जाता है बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली क्या होता है, आपको मिलके काम करना है. सो यू नीड टू नो हर डिपार्टमेंट का क्या रोल है, वो कैसे करते हैं, उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट्स क्या हैं, उनकी सेंसिबिलिटीज़ क्या होती हैं, from that point of view. Okay. So for instance at Innocean, I mean we definitely have an induction program of 30 days whereby, let's say if a person joins an account management, he of course spends time with people in account management and client servicing, but he'll go and spend time with strategy team, he'll spend a few days in the studio. Okay. He'll spend a few days with creative, because studio एक ऐसी जगह है जहाँ
सारा काम बेसिकली वो सीख लेते हैं,
उनको पता लग गया. और स्टूडियो एक ऐसी जगह है जहाँ पे एक अकाउंट एग्जीक्यूटिव जो होता है, जो सर्विसिंग का ट्रेनी होता है, उसकी आधी ज़िंदगी वहीं बीतती है. तो ये बहुत ज़रूरी स्पेस होता है उसके लिए. एंड इसी तरह सबको करते हैं, चाहे वो डिजिटल कंटेंट का हो, चाहे वो डिजिटल मीडिया का हो, जो भी हो.
सो वहाँ से उसको डायरेक्शन एक पता चल जाएगा कि मुझे मेरा इंटरेस्ट किस में जाग रहा है ज़्यादा.
नहीं, इंटरेस्ट तो पहले से डिफाइंड होता है. सी पीपल कम प्री डिफाइंड विद द इंटरेस्ट.
ओके.
आपको पता है कि भाई अगर आप लेट्स से यू हैव डन अ कोर्स इन बिजनेस, लेट्स से यू हैव डन योर बीबीए और एमबीए और व्हाटएवर इट इज, देन यू आर मोर इंक्लाइंड टुवर्ड्स द बिजनेस साइड.
ओके.
बट इट डज हैपन,
मूड चेंज हो जाए, मन कर जाए कुछ और करने का.
What you said is very true. I mean, we've had people who joined in account management and suddenly 3 months later they come and say मुझे तो लिखने में बहुत मजा आता है, I want to be a copywriter. Or we had this girl in creative with us. She came to us and you're an extremely good visualizer. I was art director, she was, and I was surprised. 1 week later, I was doing my coffee in the morning, and she comes up and says, "How do I get into strategy?" Because she said what fascinated me during little time that I've spent is how the strategy guys conduct themselves, how they behave themselves, and how they arrive at a proposition that finally is given to us to develop and work upon. So that can happen.
Okay.
And some organizations are dynamic enough and they're flexible enough to accommodate, because ultimately you get good talent with great difficulty. So if you found someone good, then the intent is always to retain them.
Okay. And which are the different roles in advertising?
When you say roles, you mean
मतलब बहुत सारे होते हैं, मुझे पता है, बट मेन रोल्स आई मीन टू से कि समथिंग लाइक आर्ट डायरेक्टर, कॉपीराइटर, ये जो रोल्स हैं किन किन तरह के रोल्स होते हैं लार्जली एजेंसीज में,
okay,
इंडिया एंड अब्रॉड.
See, what happens is agencies can be broadly structured into the business side of it, and the other is the creative side of it. Now, it's a little unfair because I think everybody within the agency environment is mostly on the creative side of it. So even if you're solving a problem, even if you're handling a client brief, there's a bit of a creative thinking involved even there as well. So let's say if I was to go with the broad definition of business side of it, there are certain support functions which are very important. So one is finance. Now, finance in agency is also very important because you have to manage cash flows.
Okay.
And in the past, agencies went under because their cash flows probably were under stress and things like that. So it's a very important aspect of managing the whole thing.
Okay.
And the other aspect of this is then you have admin and HR, which are again support functions and things like that. But in terms of the mainstream, when you come to, of course, you will have what you call account executives,
Yeah.
which are old-fashioned designation, but that's what the.
पर अभी भी account executive ही बोलते हैं.
See, you can't take the reality away. You can give it a different name if you want, but that's what it is.
Okay.
And then, so those are on the client servicing side. They are the main lifeline of the agency in terms of maintaining contact with the client.
Okay.
Then you have, let's say, account planning team where you have management trainees and strategy, etc.
ठीक है.
So there are people who come with a bent of mind where they want to work on consumer insights, behavior. Some of them have also done time in research agencies as well.
Okay.
Because a lot of market research data comes to planning team, which they interpret and take it further in terms of developing advertising ideas.
Okay.
Then you have what we call digital strategy team as well now, because digital is becoming fairly significant across brands and categories. So digital strategy के भी लोग होते हैं अलग से, उनका काम होता है understanding data from various platforms, devising strategy in terms of how we can best leverage those platforms.
Okay.
Then you have digital media guys who look at how you can spread your money, how you can optimize your campaign so that the performance gets better. Then you have ATL media people as well, which is in terms of media planning. Then you have media operations people. You have media investment people.
Okay.
These are the investment people are the ones who negotiate better rates with TV channels or newspapers and things like that.
तो media team में नहीं आते?
But they're part of media only, but they're called media investment.
I see. Okay.
Then,
तो specialized role है.
हाँ, they were earlier in a very deglamorized way called media buyers.
Ah,
Now they're
no
called
wonder.
media. Now they are called media investment professionals.
Interesting.
And then of course you have the media planners who look at data for viewerships and listenership and readerships and arrive at optimization
तो
of
ये
plans.
आपने जो digital डिपार्टमेंट की बात करी है, अभी कुछ ही सालों पिछले दशक में ही अगर हम देखें, जो लास्ट डेकेड गॉन बाय है, उसी में digital side of things have grown up tremendously.
In fact, if you look at the intake of people in the agencies right now, a slightly higher percentage of people are being hired for digital functions. So which includes not just media, it also includes creative functions to do with digital. Now let's come to, we've touched all that. Then there are agencies who have experiential talent within them also.
Right.
Experiential, I mean, वो events करते हैं, activation करते हैं. You go to a mall and you realize, oh, there's a promotion happening. Some free samples are being given, or a quiz is being played where questions about a brand are being asked. So we have those people as well, whose job is to make sure that the idea that you have is taken on ground directly to consumers.
Okay.
That is one aspect. And then we come to the creative function. The creative is where we have people who are into copywriting, people who are into visualizing. There are a lot of people now who do graphics, who do packaging and
content.
And now we have a lot of people who do content, which is short form content, reels, etc., things like that.
So वो specialized function है actually में अब
वो बनता जा रहा है because उसकी requirement बहुत
So
अलग है.
basically जो लोग Instagram पे reels वगैरह बनाते हैं, they can actually find a career in advertising.
Of course. So what makes you think they are already not having a career in advertising?
Yeah, sorry guys if you're already doing well.
So we have all that happening already. And then a lot of organizations have film specialists also within their system, because see, they have all kinds of films being made. You have big budget TV commercials, it's pretty much like a feature film industry. You have big budget, then you have art films, which are cheaper, probably better talent and all that.
और अब तो OTT के आने के बाद तो और आप लोगों का काम बढ़ गया होगा.
Similarly, in advertising also, we make these mega blockbuster TV commercials for launches. Then there are a lot of daily consumption content that is being generated, because video has become the main source of messaging right now.
Correct.
So we have people who do that particular function as well.
ओके।
So that's
तो
in a
क्रिएटिव
nutshell.
साइड के बारे में मुझे आप ज़्यादा बताइए थोड़ा कि
हाँ.
आर्ट डिज़ाइनर्स, कॉपीराइटर्स, डायरेक्टर्स, आर्ट डायरेक्टर्स, कंटेंट प्रोड्यूसर्स, जो ये लोग हैं, ये लोग, इन लोगों का रोल किस तरह से इम्पोर्टेंट रहता है इन द फंक्शनिंग ऑफ एन एडवर्टाइजिंग एजेंसी?
Okay, good question. See, ultimately, आप अगर देखिए, what does an advertising agency uh, make its money from?
एब्सोल्युटली।
What does a client
See,
look
largely
for?
creative।
Yes, it's a creative outcome.
हाँ।
It's a creative output. So these people are like, जैसे कई लोग बोलते हैं ना भाई ये कंपनी बनाती क्या है, ये
हाँ।
कंपनी स्कूटर बनाती है।
हाँ।
तो हमारे यहाँ हम तो स्कूटर बनाते नहीं, हम तो स्कूटर के विज्ञापन बनाते हैं।
विज्ञापन।
तो विज्ञापन असल में जो लोग बनाते हैं वो यही लोग हैं।
राइट।
हम बाकी जितने लोग हैं,
सपोर्ट सिस्टम।
we are the enabling factors. We will provide them with all the inputs, we'll provide them with all the communication lines, getting them the right input from consumer understanding to client understanding to product understanding. ये लोग उसको फिर convert करते हैं messaging में. So I think they are the hotbed of creativity, hotbed of action within the agency.
But genuinely speaking, अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं, are they really celebrated at that kind of level?
Oh
मतलब
yes.
अगर usually what happens in the business, the people who are bringing the money are the the key people who are sought after. They are running the show. Are these people in advertising really given that kind of importance, that kind of level of likability, and that that
of course,
that celebrity status, so to
of
say?
course. In fact, the most celebrated people in an agency are, I would definitely, stick my neck out and say are the creative people, because for one reason, uh, they are being judged every day. Every piece of work a creative guy does is evaluated.
True.
Sometimes there are people who don't even know how to
They
evaluate
are the one who are bashed, and they are the one who are given all the
and look
love.
at those guys, look at their tenacity. They go back and redo the thing and
True.
come back with an even better idea. So their role is very important.
Actually.
And at the same time, if you look at,
And it's immeasurable in a way.
see
In a way.
now people are trying to bring in various things, of measurability, of creative impact, etc. But at the same time, you talked about recognition and celebrating their achievement. If you look at all the awards that are there, which celebrate excellence in advertising or success in advertising,
It's mostly around them.
it's built around the creative premise.
Creative, yeah.
And the guys who go on stage, I mean, of course the entire team goes, but the team within their heart knows who's the guy or the girl responsible for what comes out.
True.
And there's no denying the fact that the role of creators is extremely important
Okay.
in the process.
Okay. So coming to the digital side of things, अभी तो जैसे like we just discussed कि digital एक बहुत important medium बन गया है, और भी अभी कितना और आगे जाएंगे इस फील्ड में, हम लोग कितना और कुछ देखने वाले हैं. तो उसकी इवॉल्वमेंट एक एजेंसी में किस तरह से हुई है, तो वो रोल वहाँ पे जब लोग पिच करते हैं अपने आप को जो एक रोल्स के लिए प्रिपेयर करते हैं, तो उसके बारे में कुछ बताइए, जो स्टूडेंट्स अपने आप को डिजिटल में, एडवर्टाइजिंग में डिजिटल में जाना चाहते हैं.
Sure. See, earlier we used to hire people with the slightly softer skills of digital. Somebody who knew how to write and design and things like that. But now agencies are adding
साइड स्किल्स की तरह.
But now agencies are
अभी
adding.
मेन स्ट्रीम हो गया है.
No, but now we are adding hardcore tech people into our teams as well. So we have a lot of people who have done, let's say, BTechs and things like that, who come into our system, because at the end of the day, they make various platforms come together. They enable handshake between various kinds of technology. They enable interchange of data. They enable enable transactions across platforms. So all that understanding is now required within the agency.
Okay.
There was a time where you could say, "अच्छा ये मैं बाहर से करा लूँगा," but it's a lot more cost effective. It's a lot more profitable, and it's a lot more enduring from retaining a business.
ये आपने बहुत सही पॉइंट बोला है कि आजकल सब चीज़ें जो है वो इन हाउस काफ़ी मतलब होती जा रही हैं. इन हाउस अगर आप देखें तो जितनी भी एजेंसीज हैं वो अपने ही कोशिश करती हैं कि उनके इन हाउस ही सारी फैसिलिटीज हैं, उनको आउटसोर्स करने की जरूरत ना पड़े. तो उससे काम भी तो बढ़ा है ना, जितने भी रिसोर्सेज की रिक्वायरमेंट है वो बढ़ गई है.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल.
एम्प्लॉयमेंट बढ़ी है.
See, of course, agencies are recruiting, which is a very positive sign.
Yeah.
And I also genuinely feel that the moment an economy does well, one of the important, indicators of that is how is the advertising industry doing. Spends go up, recruitments within the agencies speed up, and you see a lot more vibrancy in media because more commercials and more
Commercials
ads
are
and
being
more reels
released.
and everything kind
True.
of hits you in your face.
Yeah.
So that is there. But the point that you made, either people will have teams within them, or if you look at big conglomerates, the agency networks,
Right.
what they have is they have various group companies which offer these skills. So what happens is within their ecosystem, the entire capability
Okay,
exists.
correct.
And you don't have to, just say, अच्छा मैं यहीं पे काम कर सकता हूँ क्या? उनके ग्रुप में कोई 8-10 कंपनियां होंगी, कई तो 30-40
I
कंपनियां इंडिया
actually
में,
wanted to ask you this.
कई में तो 30-40
Correct,
कंपनियां हैं. अब
correct.
आप ग्रुप एम को देख लो, इट्स अ वेरी लार्ज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. पब्लिसिस ग्रुप को देखो, so many companies, Dentsu, so many companies.
एक within a conglomerate एक कंपनी से दूसरे कंपनी में जाना कितना मुश्किल या आसान है?
See, I think that purely depends on the individual organization's policy.
Okay,
But by
okay.
and large, agencies don't want to let go of talent as long as it's proven and as long as it's effective and productive.
Okay, and what about client servicing? उसका future क्या है और अभी किस तरह से it's shaping up? And
See, I think from the
they are the ones who are facing all the heat, right? They are the ones who are taking all the brickbats, and the
client servicing is a function, that has been written off for many years. जब मैंने ज्वाइन किया था 1987 नवंबर में, तब से लोग बोलते हैं यार इसका तो फ्यूचर नहीं है ज़्यादा.
अच्छा.
But look at me, I'm sitting here today and still I can proudly say that a lot of my role has been to do with client servicing and strategy as such. But see, the fact is you will always need a person who will be able to handhold the business, who will be able to give empathy to the client, who will be able to understand the nuts and bolts of the client's business. And there's nobody else better suited to do that than the client servicing executive. But to be this effective, it requires a lot of rigor. Good account executives, good client servicing executives are the ones who invest a lot of their effort, time, energy in understanding the business and building great relationships. And that is the key to success.
True. Actually, मैं आपसे ये पूछना भी चाहती थी कि आपका background client servicing में रहा है.
Yes.
And that is how you climbed up the ladder success and became joint managing director in Innocean Worldwide. So basically, throughout your career, you have been into client servicing.
I've been in client servicing. Then I moved into a kind of a joint role with client servicing and strategy, both being a part of my functioning.
Okay.
And because otherwise, it gets to be a little boring and repetitive.
Yeah.
So
now you're talking.
There was a time in the past, in 70s, 80s, when only client servicing guys, the business guys would end up heading the agency.
Yeah.
But I think that was in the past.
अच्छा अब नहीं है ऐसा?
Now, I mean, agencies are headed by anybody competent and capable who can take the business further.
Okay.
Who can build the reputation to the next level.
आपको लगता है creative लोग business कर पाते हैं?
बिल्कुल करते हैं. In
अच्छा.
fact, see, I think
any example you can think
I
of?
think all the creative talent which is at the top are great business leaders as well. They understand what makes a category work, what makes a brand within the category tick, and they also understand what is the subliminal need of a client when they interact with him. See, because you don't have to just target the consumers, you have to also understand the psyche of the client. And these guys, creative guys should not be underestimated.
अच्छा ये मेरे लिए न्यू है. यूजुअली मैंने सुना है कि जो क्रिएटिव साइड होते हैं, जो क्रिएटिव वाले होते हैं, basically they are the ones who are least concerned and least they have least amount of brains towards finances of things.
See, they might not know finance. See, it's not important for anybody to know finance because for that we have CFOs within the agencies now. But more important is, do you understand the importance of the client within the ecosystem? Do you understand the importance of your idea in the client's business ecosystem? And I think most creative guys are respected because they are on the side of the idea. They are not on the side of a person.
Okay.
Because see, a client.
That's a great line.
Because the best names, the most respected names in the business, are people who have stood by an idea. And have made their clients realize that this is the idea that they should be backing and investing in.
True. So my last
and why just creative? I mean, it applies across the board. I mean, it applies to account planners, it applies to account executives as well.
Okay. And lastly, अभी in the times that we are living, it's mostly everything is hybrid. तो क्या होता है ना कि हमारे मीडिया में भी, मैं अगर अपनी बात करूँ, अपने इंडस्ट्री की बात करूँ, तो उसमें भी ना जो अभी बैक एंड पे लोग हैं ना, उनसे सब कुछ एक्सपेक्टेड है. आपको लिखना भी आना चाहिए, आपको प्रेजेंट भी करना आना चाहिए, आपको बैक एंड पे भी काम आना चाहिए, यू शुड नो द सॉफ्टवेयर ऑल्सो. सो अभी डिजिटल के आने के बाद एवरीथिंग इज बिकम सो हाइब्रिड दैट जो टैलेंट है ना उनसे एक्सपेक्टेड है कि उनको सब कुछ आना चाहिए.
But let me add here that the youngsters who are coming in right now, they are a lot more tech savvy than we have been.
I
See,
agree.
we've all learned everything on the job. For these guys are all digital natives, so they understand a lot more than us, and I think that's a good thing. And there's an ongoing debate that you.
But that does that make the already existing talent redundant?
Not at all, because see, you keep upskilling. See, none of what we do is rocket science at the end of it. So anybody with certain amount of dedication and out of the box thinking can do it.
Cool.
The only issue is that there are very few with that capability.
अपनी बात तो नहीं कर रहे ना आप. अपनी बात तो नहीं कर रहे होगे.
कभी नहीं.
With that guys, this is the end of this video because ये वाला जो टॉपिक है वो यहीं पे हम खत्म करते हैं. अगले वीडियो में अगले टॉपिक पे बात करेंगे. And thank you so much Vivek for joining me in this video.
My pleasure, and guys, keep watching, keep sharing and keep liking.
Bye.
Thank you.